How did you make Valentine's Day special? Well, four of us guys took our wives on an unforgettable sightseeing tour of the famous Apache Trail. That's Highway 88. This scenic off road adventure started at a dirt parking area just a few miles east of Tortilla Flat. The Segway Villain always makes desert exploration a great adventure. So we embarked on an easy drive through the breathtaking canyons, passing Apache Lake, and finally reaching Theodore Roosevelt Lake. Let's get the story rolling. Yesterday, the forecast for rain made it look like there would be no Valentine's Day ride. But this morning, it had backed off so much, we all decided we'd take a chance. We'll see if we actually make it. It's not looking promising, though. We drove through Tortilla Flat and pavement all the way up here to just before the road ended and parked. And you can see it doesn't take very long to hit the dirt. We're going to have fun. There's still some climbing to do before we get to where the gate used to have the road blocked off. It wasn't until September of 24 that the road was reopened. It had been closed for 5 years after a rock slide. I shouldn't have been surprised to see vehicles with low ground clearance on the road today because the road's really in great shape. But after a couple storms, I wouldn't be trying this. A lot of this road, especially in the beginning, is going up and down the mountain. So it's a shelf road. You're on the edge of cliffs with some pretty terrific drop-offs. You really have to pay attention. You do not want to mess up here. It could be the last time you mess up. Now that this road has been fixed, they have unlocked the gate. This allows us to drive down the mountain past Apache Lake, all the way out to Theodore Roosevelt Lake and Highway 188. It's going to be a very pretty ride. We've already established this as two-way traffic. The road gets very narrow in spots. There are huge drop-offs. There are these kind of short little canyons where they blasted some rocks so that you can go through. It's a challenging road as far as paying attention and avoiding accident. The road itself, quite smooth, easy drive. The road was originally built for wagons when they were building the Roosevelt Dam, so between 1902 and 1909. With this magnificent scenery, it's not surprising when you go around a corner that there's someone parked in the road shooting photos out the window. Well, at least they're to the side. Give a little beep of my horn and away we go. Here's a good example of why you should be polite. You see that pickup truck? It's the sheriff. It's still early in the ride, but we're finally getting near the bottom of this very long descent. And the scenery has just been amazing. We're less than a mile to the bottom and we have to cross a bridge, a narrow one-lane bridge, and there'll be a warning that says we're half a mile away. But it takes a long time because we are going quite slow at this point. Safety first. Most of the time when we're in the Villain, we're out in the middle of nowhere and you rarely see anyone. But on this road, emphasis on road, there has been a lot of traffic. And believe me, we're going to see a lot more as the day goes by. In fact, as soon as I went around the next corner, there's another guy parked taking pictures. And you can see at the bottom of the hill, once you cross the bridge, there's a fella having lunch, barely out of the road. It's the kind of place where you feel like you're in the middle of nowhere and all by yourself, and yet, today, there's a lot of people out here. The scenery here in the canyon is just fantastic and constantly changing. And if you look at the road, that is a fine road. If you look at the clouds in the distance, that sure looks like it's going to rain on somebody. Hopefully not us. This is our first view of Apache Lake off in the distance, so we got to drop down quite a bit to get there. And Robin panned the camera around so we could verify, hey, all three machines are back there. Gary and Jean decided to drive that 50-inch Can-Am trail from the RV park 50 miles to the launch point, while the rest of us trailered. While we're unloading, he looked at his gas gauge and said, "Uh-oh, I don't think I got enough to make the round trip." And there's no gas stations out here. So when we saw the
This
sign
is
for the marina,
absolutely
we
beautiful.
said, let's go down there and see if they have gas and maybe we can eat lunch at the water. Well, they don't have gas, and the only way you get to eat lunch at the water there is pay a fee. So
All
none
right,
of that
we're
worked
gonna
out
head
for
down
us.
to
It
the
is too bad
marina.
we weren't able to eat lunch down there without paying because it was beautiful. Roger said he knew where there was a spot that we could get down to the water at no charge and we could have lunch. So he became the leader, took off, everybody following him, and eventually Robin and we come in last. And the scenery at the lake. I mean, we love water and views from above. This was perfect. Roger did find us a place to eat lunch, and I'm not so sure we were actually supposed to be there, so I'm not going to show you where this was. Back on the road, we're following the lake. It's 17 miles long. The views were just endless. This is terrific. There were the occasional short sections that were paved, but mostly this is a dirt road. And that's a Toyota Prius. Heading to the marina, I assume. And then we hit commute traffic. There's cows. I really didn't expect that on a paved section of the road. I'm not really sure what's going on with the cows, but here's the man with the trailer who seems to be in charge of the cows, or at least maybe he's trying to catch them. I don't know. When I went through, I thought he was telling the cows to stop, but everybody behind me said he had them stop until he got the cows out of the way. Anyway, interesting.
We're at Roosevelt Dam.
Valentine's Day.
All right, on Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's. She already
Happy
did.
Valentine's Day.
Well, kiss me then.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Whoa.
That water's really shooting out of there.
It was interesting at the backside of the dam, but we had to get out to Highway 188 so Gary and Jean could go get some gas. And are we lucky that we went that far? Look at this. It is just stunning. The others decided to go back to the dam parking area and relax there while we waited for Gary and Jean right here at the intersection. Wanted to make sure we didn't miss them. We didn't have to wait long before Gary and Jean showed up, and we just headed on to the parking area where everybody else was waiting. And look at the view on the ride back. Oh man, we really had to suffer today. And speaking of suffering, this is the view the others had to endure while we were waiting on Gary and Jean. It's roughly 22 miles back to the trailer, and those storm clouds are getting very close. So we're just going to focus on getting back as quickly and safely as possible. By this point, we're starting to get a light sprinkle, and the road is just wet enough to throw up a teeny bit of mud. Not much, just spots. As we travel along, the rain is turning from a light sprinkle, it's getting heavier. We know we're going to get wet. Now, Robin and I have the flip windshield, which is down, so we have a lot of protection. Well, two of those vehicles behind us, they do not have a windshield. They are going to get wet. Normally, when it rains and it hits my windshield, the water just speeds up and rolls off, and it's no big deal. Hinders visibility a little bit, but not much. I don't know what went wrong today, but my chemicals were not doing the trick. It got so bad I could barely see. In fact, Robin stopped recording because she was so nervous. I had a microfiber cloth, and even though I was strapped in, I was able to reach a small part of the windshield and clean it. And I do mean small, maybe 10 inches square. My head was hanging out a lot, and I still wasn't feeling super safe in various spots. So that's why you're not going to see a bunch of driving in the rain. Those who were getting wet didn't wait on me. They zoomed on ahead, and eventually the rain stopped, and it was just beautiful again. Here we are back in the canyon at Fish Creek, and we're about to start climbing. And the rain is gone, and it's just beautiful again. I love this ride. Keep in mind, Robin and I both have a fear of heights that kicks in at various points. Sometimes not an issue, other times we're frozen. look what a great job Robin is doing shooting video, and she is on the edge of the road. You got to be impressed. It's just a few scenic miles back to the trailers, so I'm going to stop talking and let you enjoy the video of the ride back while I do my normal end of video talk. Well, that's it for this recording. Use the comment section below if you want to share your experience at this location, or maybe recommend an area that you really enjoy. Please keep it clean. I want this to be a family-oriented channel, so review what you type before you submit it. Thanks. I apologize if you happen to hear something during the ride's recording that may not sound family-oriented. I will try very hard not to let certain words slip out during an exciting moment. We'll see how that works. If you found this video helpful or just enjoyed it, please hit the like button below. Share the link with your friends. Be sure to subscribe so you can easily keep up with my latest videos, which will continue to cover things like Segway Villain owners' area of interest, reviews of accessories, where to ride, tips about the Villain, how-to videos, and lots more. Yep, there's going to be more. Thanks for watching.